on deck is 4,200 hours, I believe. My friends, is Iran about to get the atom bomb or bombs? It just so happens that there's a lot of consternation about this right now, and we're going to go over it. So right now I would say is a great time to be prepping because of all the trouble in the world. We're on the verge of getting into it with Iran. We're on the verge of getting into it with, and I got to say why that's worse than just some atom bombs. And we're on the verge of getting into it with maybe North Korea. And of course there's Russia and China, the usual suspects that we are on the verge of having all kind of heck with. So buckle up, guys. I would say check out long-term food storage. Check out my, go to prepwithgregs.com. Right now we still got a special. You can get $150 off of a 3-month supply. Check it, get it while the getting's good, guys. Because I'm expecting prices to shoot up there too. Looks like everywhere else, prices go up, specials go down, or maybe they just run out because there's not going to be enough food to go around. We'll have food in America probably, but it's going to be high, and I'm going to do a special video on that soon. So guys, subscribe to my channel, bang the update notification bell, and click all if you're not already done so, because I'm going to bring you a lot more on this. Again, check out prepwithgregs.com. Here we go, guys. So the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, has stated that Iran actually has enough enriched uranium right now to build an atom bomb. Of course, that don't mean the atom bomb magically appears all at once in the snap of a finger, but you can bet they've already been working all the other components, so maybe it does. Maybe they'll have it pronto. But that's what the IAEA was worried about. And more than that, Iran actually stated that they're actually building more centrifuges and putting more centrifuges in operation. So they're accelerating this enrichment program. Not only that, Iran actually removed the monitoring cameras. The cameras used to monitor their production facilities, which was under the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action treaty that they had signed with several countries. Now, as you know, Trump pulled the United States out of that, but several European countries and other nations were still party to that, and Iran pulled out. No, the United States pulled out, but Iran actually hasn't pulled out, but they're not abiding by the terms of the treaty, and it's what Israel claimed from the get-go, and that's why Trump pulled out in the first place. He said they're not abiding by the terms of the treaty. Well, now it's pretty clear they're not because they jerked the cameras out. So what's going on with Iran? What are they doing? What is their plan? Well, as you can imagine, Israel had always said they'd never allow this to happen. Well, are they going to attack? Some people say that they are already doing practice runs and doing so with the Saudi Arabians. Saudi Arabia also has a lot of consternation with Iran, has been in a proxy war with Iran through the Yemens for some time. So Iran's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said Iran is enriching uranium at an unprecedented rate and moving dangerously close to producing nuclear weapons. He went on to say, without pressure from the West, the Islamic regime in Iran could get their hands on a nuclear bomb very soon. Well, that's kind of an understatement. Then he goes on. The world must take a firm stance and tell the Islamic regime in Iran, no nukes, no nukes, no sanctions. So if they don't do nukes, we'll take the sanctions off you, basically. Iran's, is that going to work? Iran's nuclear program won't stop until it is stopped, according to him. And we put the carrot out there, the stick out there. We shipped over pallets full of billions of dollars in paper cash, and nothing we did slowed them down. They never slowed down one iota, and they kept building stuff. So it's pretty apparent that they plan to build bombs. Now, what does that really mean for America? It's not good for Israel. Of course, Israel's got probably a couple hundred of them. But, Israel, it'd only take a couple to take Israel out, really, because Israel's population center is only a couple places. So just a couple would actually do Israel in as a nation. And Israel, and then Saudi Arabia is also an enemy of Iran. So what does all this mean? What does it mean for us here in the United States? So here's what you got to bear in mind. Our dilemma is this. Iran calls the United States, not Israel. They call the United States the Great Satan. They are upset at us still because we imposed the Shah of Iran upon them. They had a duly elected president, but he favored Russia, so we overthrew him and put a horrible tyrant over the people there. Of course, you know, they're living under tyranny today, seemingly. But at least it's their own brand of tyranny, right? A lot of people there aren't happy with it. You know, if we could back off, you know, Iran might quit doing that stuff. So, my friends, bear in mind that they consider us the great Satan. What does that mean? It means that they consider also that we've already told them basically that we would not permit this to happen. And we've already been involved in a proxy conflict, actually hitting some boats and so forth with Iran. I've covered these things in the past, and so has Israel. So you can say we're already kind of sort of in a soft war with Iran. Like it or not. There's a lot of Americans who think it ought not be that way. And you know, it's hard to argue, except, you know, we got to change their attitudes about us being the great Satan if we don't want to have to deal with them. And it may be harder to do. But guys, you know, otherwise Iran probably wouldn't pose much of a threat to us, except they do know and understand, and it is in their doctrine, that if they have a war with us, to take down our power grid. Now, they got a couple of ways possibly doing that. If they could allocate one of those nukes to go over Omaha, you know, that would do the job. High altitude electromagnetic pulse, a HEMP explosion, would take out our power grid. But somebody had made the point to one of the head of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, telling them, hey, you know, the report came out in America that said if you just take out 9 critical substations, that's, you know, 9 critical substations, you could destroy the entire American power grid. And his response is, I got sleeper cells there, and we've already targeted 20 of them. You see, they don't need a nuke to take us down. And they got hackers. And they also are in alliance with North Korea that's got hackers, and Russia that's got hackers. And of course, Russia won't do anything. They love us so much, nothing's going to happen. Don't know, guys. We are in perilous times. The problem is, if our grid goes down, 9 out of 10 people or more, I would say more based on my analysis, I think they were optimistic. We could lose over 9 out of 10 people in a year. And the United States is going to be in an awful, horrible predicament. So this could be on the verge of happening. This is why I say y'all got to prep. You got to get ready. You got to prepare yourselves for all these things to happen. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the rocket park at the Redstone Arsenal here behind me. NASA. This rocket park was established by the Army Ballistic Missile Agency back in the early 60s. Maybe, actually, I think late 59. I think this was built before I was born. Including the big Saturn I rocket. The Army started the Saturn program, believe it or not. Allegedly as a troop transport rocket. Of course, von Braun was always aiming for the moon and Mars. He really wanted to go to Mars. That's what he really wanted to do, but the moon was a way station. So space station, moon, Mars, that was the kind of stuff they talked about. Anyway, all right, so enough said about that. I'm gonna check the notes real fast and I gotta go here. I gotta get home. I got a lot to do tonight. I gotta get ready for Rex's program too. All right, so Catherine Sigurdsson, hello Greg, new days always, evening folks. So I'm gonna read through the notes real fast. Another food processing burning again today. Send me a note on that. I got a list of them. I'm gonna cover this and a video I'm gonna do here in the next few days, guys. This is awful. Yeah, we got so many problems coming at us. There's so much to talk about, and yeah, I am gonna cover that. How are you, my friend, and God bless you and family, says City Man. Well, thank you. Hi, New Day, says Arnold. Pizza assembly place to boot New Days. What are we talking about here? John in the Spirit. Pizza assembly place to boot New Days. Hidden below the belt. Oh, she's talking about a pizza place. Is that what you're talking about? Is that why he had a pizza place, pizza assembly? Well, he had all kind of food processing. Yeah, I just finally caught you on live. All right there, Robin. Good to see you. Brian, hey Greg, what's the lifespan of a lithium battery in an electric bike? Hey, it all depends. Those things, hey, they can go on the thermal runaway at any time. You got to watch it. Let's not be talking people down ethnically there, Brian. Somebody, yeah, you need to take that comment out about the Arabs. That's, you know, we can all go crazy. Let's don't smear anybody ethnically. Do you think the money really went to Ukraine? It went in the pockets of our contractors that are developing all these weapons. That's where it went. They're probably getting some money. I think half my freezer is frozen pizzas. Oh, good Lord, John in the Spirit. Yeah, Muslims don't eat pork during Ramadan. More for me. Hey, I like pork. I had some last night. all the days back when we were the enemy and not the Russians, the media always needs someone to hate. Yeah, don't they? Yeah. You know, we thought when the wall fell with Russia that James Bond was over. Well, they found new enemies for the James Bond series, didn't they? So I think the city just long enough to wash it. What? I think I did city, but just long enough to wash it and send good part back. Not even gardening. Uh-oh. Then, let's see. Then it must be old, said Dr. G-Man. Hey, Dr. G-Man, how you doing? So I got the same emblem on my hat that's in your logo. Whew, it's getting hot out here. I should be able to weed in my garden. There you go, John in the Spirit. City Man, YouTube been buffering on the past few days. I wouldn't doubt it. It's probably the network around here more than anything. Am I buffering now? 100 food processing plants have been burnt down to date. Wow. Totally coincidental, including all the plane crashes into them, right? Jeez. Wiseout, how you doing? Wiseout, we need to talk. Rex Armour, please launch a study into the Soviet immersion into CA Central America. Oh, okay. Yeah, and the CCP too. Lithium ion phosphate batteries are better. Okay, well, there's a lot of other formulations. 99 food plants gone down in the past year. So like a beer song, 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Let's see, while on New Days, haven't seen any live vids lately. Been very, very busy. Yeah, I've been pretty busy too. I haven't been doing as many. It's been blazing hot, 102. Wow, Dr. G-Man. Smithfield plant shutting down in the U.S. Oh yeah, that's the ones the Chinese bought. Jeez. Hey, Sassafras, how you doing? The only new world order I want to see is turned into vacation lands, arts, and cuisine to explore. Did you ever see the Rumble video with 3,000 cattle dying in one day? Oh, no, I hadn't seen that, but wow. There's no telling what was going on, guys. It's not pretty, not pretty. I just took a whole bunch of pictures of a lot of the farmland around here, and I'm going to do a report. I'm going to uncover these plants that's been taken out and talk about a lot of other stuff. So, guys, I got to run. M2 flare, that might be part. I got to run. I got a lot to do, and I got to get ready for Rex's show tonight too. So I'm going to be really challenged. I got to hop. Anyway, everybody, thank y'all for watching. Take care, share the video, and have an awesome night. Good night.